Right now, as you cook your food, invisible toxic chemicals are leaching directly into every meal you eat. Your non-stick pan, your plastic spatula, your aluminum pots, all of them are slowly poisoning your body. And the industry has known about this for decades. This isn't a conspiracy theory, it's a stark reality backed by decades of science, hidden in plain sight. We're going to pull back the curtain on this silent threat, starting with the glossy, convenient surface of your non-stick pan, and reveal what's truly happening at a molecular level with every dish you prepare. Let's start with your beloved non-stick pan. Its incredible convenience comes at a hidden cost, thanks to a group of synthetic chemicals known as PFAS, or per- and polyfluoroalkyl substances. These are often what make coatings like Teflon so effective at preventing food from sticking. PFAS are highly stable, resisting heat and oil, which is why they were so revolutionary for cookware. But this very stability is precisely what makes them so problematic for our health and the environment. Understanding their structure is key to grasping their danger. PFAS are often dubbed forever chemicals because they don't naturally break down in the environment or in our bodies. Once released, they persist, accumulating over time. Think of them like microscopic, indestructible Lego bricks that, once added to a system, are almost impossible to remove. This persistence means that even tiny exposures can add up, leading to detectable levels in nearly everyone. The concept of bioaccumulation is crucial here. What might seem like a negligible amount today can become significant when it never leaves your system. The scientific community has linked PFAS exposure to a terrifying array of health problems. These aren't minor inconveniences, they are serious, life-altering conditions. From disrupting our delicate endocrine system to compromising our body's natural defenses, PFAS interfere with fundamental biological processes. The evidence points to a strong correlation between elevated PFAS levels and these adverse outcomes, painting a concerning picture of their systemic impact on human physiology. It's a broad assault on multiple bodily systems. Recognizing the severe dangers, regulatory bodies like the Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA, have set incredibly strict limits for certain PFAS in drinking water. Their recent guidelines for PFOA and PFOS are strikingly low, indicating the extreme potency of these chemicals. To put 0.004 parts per trillion into perspective, it's like finding a single drop of dye in 20 Olympic-sized swimming pools. This isn't just a recommendation, it's a clear signal from leading health authorities about the grave threat these compounds pose even at infinitesimal concentrations. This is how seriously the risk is perceived. The reach of these forever chemicals is staggering. Studies have consistently shown that PFAS are now detected in the blood of nearly every American. That's right, over 97% of the US population carries these synthetic compounds within them. This widespread presence underscores the pervasive nature of PFAS, infiltrating our environment and food chain. It's a sobering statistic that highlights the urgency of addressing this issue, as it's no longer a localized problem but a systemic challenge impacting virtually all of us. This is not a niche concern, it's a universal exposure. Perhaps one of the most alarming findings concerns children's developing immune systems. Research has indicated that higher levels of certain PFAS can significantly diminish a child's antibody response to crucial vaccines, like the tetanus shot. This means that even if a child is vaccinated, their body might not be able to mount a full, protective immune response against diseases. For children, whose immune systems are still maturing, this vulnerability can have long-lasting implications for their health and resistance to common illnesses. It's a silent undermining of public health measures. Many non-stick brands now prominently advertise their products as PFOA-free. While this sounds reassuring, it can be a deceptive marketing tactic. PFOA, or perfluorooctanoic acid, is just one type of PFAS. Companies have simply replaced it with other, less studied PFAS chemicals, such as Gen X or PFBS, which can have similar, if not equally concerning, health effects. The term PFOA-free often gives consumers a false sense of security, leading them to believe the product is entirely safe, when in reality, it may still contain other persistent and harmful fluorinated compounds. It's a game of chemical whack-a-mole. Even if a non-stick pan is labeled PFOA-free, its coatings can still degrade when exposed to high temperatures, typically above 500 degrees Fahrenheit 260 degrees Celsius. When this happens, the pan can release toxic fumes and tiny plastic particles directly into your air and food. Reaching these temperatures is easier than you might think, especially when preheating an empty pan or cooking on high heat. These fumes can cause polymer fume fever, characterized by flu-like symptoms, and pose serious risks, particularly to birds, which are highly sensitive to them. Your canary in the coal mine is literally your actual canary. Next, let's turn our attention to aluminum pots and pans, a staple in many kitchens due to their excellent heat conductivity and affordability. While aluminum is abundant and seemingly benign, the truth is that it can leach into your food, especially when exposed to acidic ingredients like tomatoes, vinegar, or lemon juice. This leaching process is accelerated by heat and prolonged contact, meaning that every time you simmer that tomato sauce in an aluminum pot, you're inadvertently adding aluminum to your meal. It's a gradual, unnoticed contamination with potentially serious long-term consequences. Once aluminum enters your body, it doesn't just pass through harmlessly. It can accumulate in various tissues, leading to a range of health issues. This heavy metal can interfere with critical biological processes, impacting the health of your bones, brain, and even your immune system. The body has mechanisms to excrete small amounts, but chronic exposure can overwhelm these defenses, leading to a buildup that contributes to disease. Understanding how this metal interacts with our systems reveals a silent, cumulative threat that can compromise fundamental bodily functions over time. The potential link between aluminum exposure and Alzheimer's disease has been a subject of scientific debate for decades. While earlier research suggested a strong correlation, the consensus today is more nuanced. Scientists agree that aluminum is neurotoxic and has been found in the brains of Alzheimer's patients, but a direct causal link has not been definitively established. Nevertheless, reducing overall exposure to neurotoxins, including aluminum, remains a prudent public health recommendation. While the debate continues, minimizing unnecessary aluminum intake is a sensible precautionary measure for brain health. Not all aluminum cookware is created equal. Raw aluminum, as we've discussed, is highly reactive and prone to leaching. However, anodized aluminum undergoes an electrochemical process that creates a hard, non-reactive layer on its surface. This layer significantly reduces the leaching of aluminum into food, making it a much safer option. It's important to understand this distinction, as it directly impacts your exposure levels. Always check for hard anodized labels when considering aluminum cookware for better safety. The coating essentially acts as a protective barrier. Now, let's consider your seemingly innocent plastic spatula. Many plastic kitchen tools, especially older ones or those not specifically certified, can contain bisphenol A, or BPA. BPA is an industrial chemical primarily used to make certain plastics and resins. When these plastics are heated, scratched, or worn, BPA can leach into your food. This is particularly concerning with spatulas that regularly come into contact with hot surfaces and abrasive foods. It's an invisible transfer of chemicals directly from your utensil into your meal, often happening over and over again with each use. BPA is particularly insidious because it's an endocrine disruptor. This means it can mimic our body's natural hormones, especially estrogen, and interfere with the delicate balance of our endocrine system. This interference can lead to a cascade of health issues. Because hormones regulate so many bodily functions, disrupting them can have widespread and profound effects on development, metabolism, and even our ability to reproduce. Even small amounts of BPA can have significant biological activity due to its hormone-like behavior, making it a powerful silent agent. Just like with PFOA, the term BPA-free can be misleading. When manufacturers remove BPA, they often replace it with structurally similar compounds like bisphenol S, BPS, or bisphenol F, BPF. Unfortunately, emerging research indicates that BPS and BPF can have similar endocrine-disrupting effects as BPA. So, while the label might sound reassuring, it doesn't necessarily guarantee safety. It's another instance of chemical substitution rather than true hazard elimination, leaving consumers vulnerable to a new generation of potentially harmful alternatives. Always be skeptical of these simple free-from claims. This isn't new information. Internal industry documents, some only revealed through lawsuits and whistleblowers, show that major manufacturers were aware of the toxic properties of PFAS and other chemicals as early as the 1950s and 60s. For decades, they actively resisted regulation, downplayed health concerns, and marketed these products widely. This historical context reveals a pattern of prioritizing profit over public health, making the current widespread contamination a direct consequence of deliberate corporate decisions, rather than a mere oversight or unforeseen consequence. The public was kept in the dark. The reason for this decades-long silence and resistance to change is, unfortunately, simple: profit. The convenience and performance of non-stick coatings, the affordability of aluminum, and the versatility of plastics translated into immense market dominance and financial gains for these industries. To acknowledge the toxicity would have meant massive retooling, re-evaluation, and potentially billions in lost revenue and litigation. This economic incentive drove the decision to protect products and profits, rather than proactively protecting public health. It's a classic conflict of interest, with consumers bearing the hidden cost. So, what can you do? The good news is there are excellent, safe alternatives readily available. Stainless steel is a fantastic choice. It's durable, non-reactive, and distributes heat effectively. Look for 18/8 or 18/10 grade stainless steel, which indicates the chromium and nickel content, offering corrosion resistance and durability. It requires a bit more technique to prevent sticking, but with proper preheating and a little oil, it performs beautifully and, most importantly, safely. It's a reliable workhorse for any kitchen, a long-term investment in your health. Another fantastic and time-tested option is cast iron. Properly seasoned cast iron develops a natural non-stick surface over time, without any synthetic coatings. It's incredibly durable, retains heat exceptionally well, and can even fortify your food with a small amount of dietary iron, which is a bonus for many. While it requires a specific cleaning and seasoning routine, its longevity and performance make it a beloved choice for generations of cooks. It's an heirloom piece of cookware, built to last and to safely cook your food for decades. For baking, storage, and many cooking tasks, ceramic and glass cookware are excellent non-toxic choices. Ceramic pans, specifically those with a true ceramic coating, not just ceramic reinforced nonstick, can offer decent nonstick properties, although they require careful handling. Glass, like Pyrex, is completely non-reactive and perfect for oven baking and food storage. Both options eliminate concerns about chemical leaching and are generally very affordable. When choosing ceramic, ensure it's made from natural materials and not just a ceramic-like non-stick coating over aluminum. Read labels carefully to ensure it's a true ceramic. Transitioning to safer cookware doesn't have to happen overnight. Here are some immediate, practical steps you can take to reduce your exposure to these harmful chemicals. Small changes can make a big difference over time. Be mindful of your existing kitchen tools and consider replacing them gradually. Education is your most powerful tool in making informed choices for your family's health. Remember, every meal you cook is an opportunity to nourish your body, not to slowly poison it with invisible toxins. Empower yourself with knowledge and make healthier kitchen choices starting today. The journey to a healthier kitchen begins with awareness. Understanding the hidden dangers in common cookware empowers you to make informed decisions that protect your health and the well-being of your loved ones. This isn't about fear-mongering, but about providing the knowledge necessary to navigate a complex consumer landscape. By choosing safer alternatives, you're not just buying new pots and pans, you're investing in a future free from invisible threats, safeguarding your health, meal by meal. Take control of your kitchen, and by extension, take control of your health. Your body will thank you.